Right, good morning to all in the Marmy Army this morning. It is Saturday, the 2nd of August. I am back from Cornwall. You will see it was only a few days and we came back for a wedding. Logistically ridiculous. I made my point, it wasn't listened to. What it does do is give me the opportunity to further enjoy the galaxy. Only thing that really is getting on my nerves at the moment is the computerized system in the Galaxy is fairly sophisticated, even for the fact that it's an old car. And it's got something on it called Lane Keeper. And what that basically means is that this little beauty, the steering wheel vibrates every time it thinks I'm not keeping in my lane, which is fine in normal everyday travel. In fact, it's quite comforting. But on the motorway, for 4 hours, it becomes a bit of an irritant. And as much as I'm in love with this car still, it's the first signs. It's like a girl you've been going out with for a couple of months. It's all been blissful, but she's just been a little bit bossy. And all of a sudden I'm starting to just sort of, the shine is starting to go. Particularly down the motorway. I don't really need lane keeper, you know? Every 5 minutes, no, you're drifting. I'm changing lanes, back off. I'm changing lanes. You can still tell me if I'm running out of petrol. It's diesel. I know it's diesel. And the edge of my seat here, literally, I've got the kids back there kicking my back. The dog woofing at everything. And you doing that every 5 minutes. Leave me alone. It was a lovely drive, to be fair. Not a problem. Stressless. Totally stressless. Did go to a wedding yesterday, which what an experience that was. I haven't been to a wedding for a little while. Gotta say, got the old dad dancing out at the end. That was fab. My kids literally, I tell you what, if you ever want them to behave, just threaten that. They just recoiled in horror. They came onto the dance floor for Dancing Queen. I started windmilling about a little bit. I started adapting my sidestep, started giving cards out, all of that business. Got a little bit more flamboyant. It was fabulous. They just looked at me in utter horror and just scattered. Not quite the moment I was looking for. I was after something a bit more touching. But yeah, and at this wedding, now this was interesting. They went for a buffet barbecue as their wedding feast. So they did the speeches, all that jazz, and then said, right, barbecue's out there. We'll call tables through one at a time. And, you know, what we're going to do is prioritise women and children, which again, it's a little bit like the Northbrook 10K. Slightly over-traditional, to be honest with you. But I thought, well, that's fine because we've got at least 5 children on our table, so I thought we'd get priority access. They very quickly jettisoned that idea and just called out tables in number order. In the end, I just said to our table, we were bloody ravenous. There were hot dogs, burgers, everything that kids would destroy. And in the end, I just went like, forget it now. Whatever they call out, let's just go. Now, I keep using the Titanic analogy, but I was a little bit like the owner of the White Star Line, Bruce Ismay. You know, women and children first. Women and children. And even though I'm a 49-year-old just man, I have to say I stepped onto the lifeboat and joined the barbecue queue. It was awful, actually. I had a load of women just looking at me in the queue going, should be ashamed of yourself. Call yourself a man. Keep your mouth shut. I'm starving here. Right, I am somewhere called East Park in the middle of Wolverhampton. Now, the park itself looks okay, looks fairly acceptable. I'm just very aware of the fact that I'm in Wolverhampton. I've said things about Wolverhampton, but part and parcel of that was just frustration because I urinated myself at the Birmingham Black Country Half Marathon. Those comments are not representative of my views of Wolverhampton. Just want to make that quite clear. Although, I've got to be, I'm slightly cautious about where I've left the Galaxy. In Wolverhampton, the Galaxy must feel like a Lamborghini, and equally as coveted, I'd imagine. But yeah, there would appear to be race HQ, and I'm about to go and ingratiate myself to them. They'll be thoroughly excited that I'm here, I have no doubt. But I'm just going to have the lie of the land, and if I'm quite honest, I might go and defecate in a bush as well, because I told you earlier, burgers and hot dogs last night, and neither of them have gone down particularly well. Again, as is vogue for MARM at the moment, I'm not wearing a safety inner pant lining. I haven't got a pair of toucans on to comfortably absorb any blemish, so I could do with just finding a bush, even if it's simply just to have a wet fart. I just cannot take... I've left the tissues in the car. Here we are, at the East Park Walls Speedway Cycling Club. I mean, how big's that? I mean, you just do a lap every 5 seconds. That's ridiculous. I think you'd even be able to keep your balance on that. Talking of keeping balance, I've just dropped off what I needed to. I left my arse in Wolverhampton, high on a hill. Right, I can see High-Vis Heroes up there, and there's literally only about 15 minutes to the start. Better pack in my strides, because they've been the sub-18 secret.
Just on that note, you let me know that we had to be cancelled.
Right, heading towards the start. The cap is in position. I'm in position. The dog is whimpering. Not a good sign. But the start is down there. Okay, 10 seconds he says. Let's see how accurate he is. 2 seconds out, slapdash. And let's stop the action right there. Now, the first thing that you need to do is to like, and the second thing you need to do is subscribe if you haven't already. Remember, I'm trying to get to 10,000 by the end of 2025. Now, cast your eyes towards the bottom of the screen. 3 seconds 45. That is the exact time that I was leading this parkrun for. Can you see the forearm in the bottom right-hand corner? Well, that belongs to a gentleman, and there's another gentleman on the other side of him. And from this point onwards, they open up a gap which is completely unassailable, rendering this whole parkrun experiment a complete waste of time. It isn't vulnerable, and I'm about to prove it isn't flat. Now, look at the strides on these chaps. The one on the far right is dressed like a paper boy. The other one's got a Real Madrid away shirt. And I am running as fast as I can. I'm sprinting. And look at this gap. It just keeps getting wider and wider and wider. And if I'm being really honest with you, Marmers, this is pretty well all she wrote for this parkrun. Right? When you watch the rest of the footage, there is... whoa, what do you think you're doing? I don't think so, pal. I haven't come all this way to get knocked off the podium. Hang on. We've got some marshals coming up, a couple of bollards. I'll tell you what, let's best behaviour in front of them.
Thank you, Marshall.
Thank you. What do you mean, thank you, Martin? Right, he said thank you, Marshall. I said thank you. Just because I didn't add Marshall doesn't mean that I don't get thanks and he does. Right, just for that, I'm going to run as fast as I can. Now, for the more observant of you and for the parkrun fanatics, East Park is just a park. It is a tarmac path and you run round it 3 times. That's it. Oh my God, here comes the map. Check out this filth. 3 laps in a perfect oblong. Don't forget to take a screenshot, perverts. You can check out her little contours in the privacy of your own home. She's just like Lady Mary in Downton Abbey. She's well laid out and she knows it. Actually, I spoke too soon. In this intriguing section, we deviate about 5 metres off to the left. Right, it's really important I get my marshal greeting right here. Thank you. Thank you. Right, I had 2 goes at that, thank you. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Patterson. Thank you. That was what was called over-egging the Marshall cake. So yeah, East Park is just a park. Let's see what it's got to offer. Tarmac and oh, this is a nice bit. This is good. This bit's good. Still tarmac, still trees. Yeah, this is great. There's a bit of a slope here. That's brilliant. Yeah, and back to the start. There's the marshals. Hi, marshals. Coming up to where I park the Galaxy. Let's have a quick look through the fence. Yep, it's still there. No broken glass. Fabulous. Cruising along now. Well, I see a forearm. I see a bicep. I see someone knocking me off the podium. Black t-shirt and shorts. And look at the gap. 2 questions. 1, where did you come from? And 2, why is it taking you a mile to overtake me that easily, which has clearly been in your locker the whole way around? Cruel is what you are. Cruel. Coming up to the bollards and the marshals. Yeah, you can applaud all you like, but you're getting nothing from me. You know why. Morning, Martin. Nothing from me. What have I got for you? Oh, you get a morning. And we're going on that 5-metre deviation up the little hill.
This is not flat.
Well said, Mom. Not flat at all. Now, this lady runner here has got a t-shirt on that says Freedom Runners Blackpool. Imagine fighting for your freedom and ending up in Wolverhampton. Good God. Quick look to the left again. Is the Galaxy still there? Yes, it is. As yet, unpenetrated. Here they are. Yeah, tap all you like. I've got a long memory. And I've got nothing left for you either. Right, let's go left. And now we're playing dodgems. I'm far, far too polite to tell anyone to move out the way. I just go... Oh! Oh, Jesus. Didn't expect someone to do it for me. That poor bloke soiled himself then. Now that is worth having a look back at again. Here we go. Yeah, like an indecisive squirrel under the wheels of a car. Right, coming up towards the finish, just dodge a child with a bow. And this lady not looking. Yeah, get off your phone. Live in the real world. Right, here we go. Coming up to the finish.
Finish there.
You know, yeah, I'm not desperate or anything. Where's the finish? Where is it?
Okay. Thanks, mate.
Now that was East Park, and I don't know who I'll blame for that. Just not myself, obviously. That was quite tough, actually. Gentle, but slightly ungentle. I'm just making excuses. I'm getting slower, essentially, Marmers. My first over 18 of the summer, but glad I made the effort, and or I will be upon leaving East Park if I can see that the Marmobile is in situ. Right, I'm now ruddy well stuck on the motorway. Can I get in? Will you let me in? Will you let me in? I've just had a crushing disappointment at East Park. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. So, I was recommended this parkrun, East Park parkrun, by one of the Quinies. I'm fairly sure it was one of them, of a YouTube channel, Q on the Run. I don't know whether it was Todd, I don't know whether it was Adam, I don't know whether it was Ryan. Could have been Carl, and there's another one. One of the lads recommended it to me, said I'd boss it. I didn't, I came fourth. Said I'd set a PB, I didn't. It's the slowest of the summer. I don't want to sound ungrateful for advice, lads, but I've come a long way and failed on 2 counts, none of which is my responsibility. It's yours. So you'll be getting a petrol receipt from me. It's diesel. I know it's diesel! I know! Stop vibrating! I'm in my lane! What did I make of East Park parkrun? Actually enjoyed it and met a lovely fella called Max. Had a great chat with him about Decathlon carbon race shoes. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. And the people there, I've got to say, were lovely. Lovely marshals. Great race director, he was hilarious. He did this bit during the race briefing at the start where some children were making noise and he was absolutely brutal. He just went, "Will someone shut those kids up? They're absolutely outrageous, badly behaved morons." Then he revealed they were his children. So all that awkwardness was just cut through in moments. His wife looked furious.